Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bourbon Bites. My name is Clifton, and welcome to part 2 of my American single malt exploration. So, most of y'all know, but I am mostly a bourbon channel, but I've been expanding my palate over the past year, 2 years at this point, and I've been trying so many incredible spirits. So tonight is all about American single malts. So last week I did part 1. If you missed it, go check out the replay. I'll put a link to it up here if you're watching the replay of this stream. But if you are tuning in live, hello. Good to see everyone. Hope your Thursday's going off to hope your Thursday's ending well. Hopefully you're ending your night with me. I don't know where I was going with that, but hello. Let's say hello to a few folks here in the chat. I see Zophar in the chat and Donnie already telling people to hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Donnie. Yeah, you guys, thumbs up really do help out the channel. So if you can hit the thumbs up on your way in or your way out, make sure to do it tonight. But thank you so much, Donnie, for the shout out. Hope you're doing well, Donnie. Brandon is here. What's up? Good to see you, Brandon. I'm going to be seeing Brandon not this weekend, but next weekend at our local group's Christmas get-together. It's always so much fun. I have a bottle for him and some samples, of course. Good to see you, Brandon. Who else is here in the chat? Zen Bood? Is that correct? He says, thanks so much for the rye flight from the Kilco raffle. Oh, no problem. Yeah, congratulations on winning. So Kilco did a fundraiser to raise money for his father's treatment, and they raised an amazing amount of money. So excited for him and their family. But yeah, I offered up a couple of sample sets of some whiskeys. So Zen Bood won a set here. I'm glad he's happy with them. I try to curate them a bit based on what I've heard that people like. Kilco said that you were a rye fan, so I'm glad to see. I'm looking forward to hearing what you think about them. Kathy Joe Women of Whiskies is here. What's up, Kathy Joe? Y'all check out Women of Whiskies. They go live every Wednesday evening. Really fun channel here on YouTube. Love seeing all the other channels out supporting. I wish I could tune in. Wednesday nights are so tough for me. I get home at like 7:30. I have to eat. I always catch the tail end of y'all stream, but I need to watch the replay from last week because the part that I caught was a lot of fun. So y'all go check out Women of Whiskies. Patrick is here. Hello, hola to you. Why are you speaking Spanish? I don't know. I know you've been out smoking cigars. Patrick has been posting on our Discord server of all the great whiskey and cigars he's been smoking tonight. By the way, if y'all are not yet on the Discord, go to bourbonbites.com. There's a link to it down at the bottom there. Everyone's welcome. It's an awesome community of whiskey friends. We love hanging out there, drinking whiskey, talking video games, and just really great community. So y'all make sure to check out the Discord server. Emily's in the chat. What's up, Emily? Good to see you. Steven is here as well. Alexander, wow, y'all are all coming in at the same moment. Fred's here. Good to see you. Yeah. Cheers. Oh, Steven's in for the giveaway, so haven't really talked about it yet. But yeah, we are giving away a Bevridge American Single Malt Tasting Kit, the exact kit that I'm drinking from tonight. This one comes with 10 samples. They are 10 American single malts from a few different distilleries. Some of them you're getting multiple expressions from the same distillery. This retails for $199. So one lucky person on the wheel of whiskey tonight is going to win this sample set. Not this one. I have another one for you. Thanks to our friends at Bevridge who sponsored this stream and the giveaway. So make sure y'all know the rules. I mean, some of y'all know the rules, but if you don't know the rules, to get entered on the wheel of whiskey, which is what I spend at the end of the stream, every $5 super chat gets you one entry on the wheel of whiskey. And yeah, I'll disclaimer, US customers, not customers, I can only ship this to the US, so please be local or at least have a US address that I can get this to. But yeah, one lucky person is going to win that tonight. So also want to re-mention that the entries from last week, all the super chats that came through last week, are entered to tonight's giveaway. So don't worry, I didn't forget about you. So Zophar, James, and Tony, y'all that entered last week, y'all are still entered. Of course, if you want some more chances to win, you got some competition now with Steven here. You can always super chat more. But again, I just do this to give out to you guys to thank you for the super chats. No relation to the super chats, but you earn your entry on the wheel of whiskey. Just another disclaimer there. All right, looking forward to some interesting American single malts. Me too. I'm really excited for these tonight. We tried some really cool ones last week. I was super impressed. I was blown away by how much character some of the ones last week had. So I'm really excited to see what it's like this week. I see quite a few people are joining Discord. Good to see y'all. Yes, y'all please join the Discord. So happy to say hello to you there. I see Brandon joined from Delaware. Brandon, good to see you. Brandon's been following the channel for a while, so welcome to the Discord. Hopefully you enjoy it there. It's a really fun community. Let me close Discord because it's making a lot of noise, but I love to see y'all joining. Kathy Jo says, yesterday's stream was a comical hot mess express worth the replay watch. Yeah, like I said, I came in for a few minutes at the end, but I'm like, oh, I gotta watch that replay. So y'all go check out Women of Whiskey stream. Let's make sure I didn't miss anyone. Oh, Kathy Joe is in for the giveaway. Well, yes, best of luck to you, Kathy Joe. I know you recently won a giveaway, so you know what? Your luck might be in your favor tonight. We'll see. Zopher is in again. Thank you so much, man. Cheers to you. Hopefully, well, I mean, one of y'all is going to win. So one of the lucky people watching tonight or watching last week are going to win. So can't wait to spin that. That'll be at the end of the stream about 7:55. So about 40 minutes or so from now. Unicorns only swim to Hawaii or Alaska. You know what? Hawaii and Hawaii. What did I even say? Hawaii or Alaska are in the U.S., so they qualify. Just no Aussies, please. Just kidding. We love our Aussie friends. But Perry is here. Hello. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Thursday night. Y'all, if y'all missed Perry's stream, he was live earlier tonight. He goes on 2 hours before me, so y'all make sure to check his replay out as well. But yeah, we got whiskeys from 2 different distilleries tonight. 3 expressions from one, 2 expressions from another. Big shout out to these distilleries for reposting on Instagram. I know they've shared with their followers as well. I know the folks from Boulder Spirits were going to try to tune in tonight, but I get it. It's late for all y'all not on the West Coast. But I appreciate the different distilleries sharing that on their channels, as well as Bevridge. Y'all have been really great to support these streams. So without further ado, let's get into these whiskeys. So I did a whole intro to this kit last week. Like I said, if you missed the replay, go check that out. But we're going to jump right into these distilleries. And this first one, we have 3 expressions from them. And it's a distillery I don't think I've ever tried. So I'm really excited to get into this first one. If I could find my little video here. Of course, the good thing about these beverage kits, which I'll tell you a little bit about, they have an American single malt one and a world whiskeys one. This is the American single malt one. It's a really cool premium tasting kit. Like I said, the retail on it's $199, but you get 10 50 milliliter samples is what I was trying to say, from distilleries all across America. Like I said, what was I going to say? I don't remember. Oh, yes. They are paired with really cool videos. So you can actually go to their YouTube channel, which I've linked to down below, or their website, and go on a tasting journey as you're going through each of these. So I've kind of trimmed down a couple of the videos here just to show you as we go along, just to give you an intro to each of these distilleries. But yeah, you can see the full set on their YouTube channel or their website. So all of that info is down in the description below. But again, let's get into our first distillery here. Check out Westward Distillery.
The abundance of the Northwest gives us both the best raw materials and the best craftspeople. We work hard, hone our craft daily, and love what we do. We value honesty, creativity, authenticity, and the spirit of collaboration. At our barrel house, just outside of Portland, and with a view of the Cascade Mountains, we mature our whiskey to perfection in new, lightly charred American oak barrels, selected to accentuate the bold characteristics of our whiskey. We also pride ourselves on experimentation and use several different barrel and aging techniques to achieve our blends. We mingle our barrels in small batches to achieve Westward's signature flavor profile, balanced and bold. Westward is born of the unique culture, climate, and abundant resources of the American Northwest, and the dynamic community of individuals who are inspired by it to create honest, authentic experiences. We are constantly working to set whiskey free and achieve American single malts that are reimagined.
Awesome. So I'm really excited to try this one. Like I said, never had anything from Westward as far as I'm aware. But this one's really cool because these guys actually started as brewers. So they come from a beer background. And there's an extended video that you can watch on the Bevridge channel where they go into how they actually taste their whiskey from the point that it's basically the mash. They want a good base for their whiskey before they even distill it, which is really, really cool. I'm sure a lot of distilleries do it, but knowing they come from a brewing background is really exciting. I'm really excited to see each of these expressions. Like I said, we got 3 expressions here. So in the tasting kit, this is number 6, number 7, and number 8. We're going to go in order. Number 6 is just their original Westward American single malt whiskey. Of course, this barley is grown in the Pacific Northwest, which is really cool. I know some of the ones we did last week were grown in Scotland and they were imported here. Some of them actually were grown at the actual distillery, or at least near it. But this was definitely sourced from, or not sourced from, grown from in the Pacific Northwest, right near where the distillery is. So, have y'all tried Westward? I know I saw someone comment a minute ago. Andrew Chance, all the way from Vegas, is saying Westward is great. It's his favorite American single malt so far. Oh, I'm so excited to get into it. I had some really great ones last week, so I can't wait to see what these are. Yeah, thank you, Emily, for dropping the link. I don't know if that's mine or Kathy Joe's, but either one, whoever it is, go check it out. Yeah, Fred's owned the blue chisel with the yellow handguard. I assume he's talking about the in the video. Oh yeah, I just think it's really cool just seeing people at work and, you know, making the whiskey, tasting it, you know, doing the blending. That's what I love about seeing the videos. It's like, even though I can't be there in person, I feel like it's nice to, especially when you're tasting along, just kind of see it being made and seeing the passionate people behind it. That's one of the things I love about this kit and this tasting experience, I will call it. But yeah, Westward, have y'all had much experience with them? Let's go and give this one a nose. This is just the American single malt. Ooh, really sweet up front. Now, as far as I'm aware, none of these have age statements. By the way, this one is, they're all 45%. Actually, no, this one's 45%. The next one is 46%. Yeah, we'll get into those in a minute. But it's 45%, 90 proof. So, this is their flagship release, like I said. I'll notice it's really sweet. It's got a nice balance of like, it's almost like I'm going like custard. Custard's the first thing that jumps to mind. It's like a sweeter, kind of like a pudding, like vanilla base. I don't know exactly what custard, what that note is, but for me, it's like very, which I was actually going to pull out my tasting wheel that I try to bring out for these streams when I'm not drinking whiskeys that I'm familiar with. Of course, I always lose it. But, oh, there we go. Found it. So, tasting wheel, just for my reference as I taste through these, just to see what I get. But custard is not on my tasting wheel, by the way. But it's kind of it's giving custard, is what I'll say. So the background music from the video is going to be stuck in your head. Oh, you mean like the generic royalty-free music, I'm sure? Yeah, it will. I mean, these videos were longer. I trimmed them down a bit, but yeah. ASMR. Yeah, every time I see ASM, I'm thinking ASMR as well. By the way, hello to the 17 people watching right now. Hit the thumbs up if you are excited for some American single malts. Or even if you're not, hit it up. Hit it up. Hit me up. You know where to find me. Yeah, on the nose, it's sweet, it's vanilla, it's really bright, I will say. So let's go and give it a taste. Cheers. It's got a nice like body to it. That's the first thing that jumps out to me. It does have a bit of like a sour and a tartness that I think it kind of reminds me of the mash itself, which is, again, what they want to highlight here. They want to highlight the barley. It does have a bit of a sourness and a tartness, but like it has the creaminess of like a, I don't actually know. I'm need another sip. Yeah, it's creamy like a higher proof whiskey. I think that's what I was getting at. It's very light and very easy going up front, but it does have the body of a nice foolproof whiskey. It's a little, I don't know how to put it. It's very barley forward, and I think I kind of struggle with American single malts in general. I struggle to get past that, especially with some of these younger ones. I don't think it's a bad note. It's just a note that's not my favorite. So I feel like this one, this is just the original one. It's not my favorite just because it's I don't want to say too simple, right? That sounds awful, but it's too grain forward, and I'm not the biggest fan of barley in general. Now I love what barley can do when it's, you know, aged really well, or maybe it's been finished, or it's like toasted barrels. I love it's very versatile grain, but I do feel like sometimes these craft distilleries, you know, I want to see more. I want to see more experimentation, and we saw a lot of that last week. So I'm hopeful that these next two that we try from Westward are going to really bring out that experimental side. Brandon says little to no experience with American single malts. Agreed. I'm very limited other than my stream last week. So I'm just experiencing them not for the first time, but some of these for the first time. But as a category, I have had a few, but nothing too crazy. Thank you, Donnie, for yes. If you guys want to support the show, you can do whether you do a super chat, become a YouTube member, or a patron. Patrons are getting something special in the mail soon as a special Christmas gift, just something very small. But if you are considering joining Patreon, you can join for as little as $2 a month. Of course, the higher tiers get you access to some fun things like our $5 a month monthly hangout where we play some games. We shoot the shit. It's usually on a weekend night, so we go for several hours. Of course, the $10 tier is, I think most people in the chat here are at that level. That is our Bourbon Megabytes, which get access to the after party hangout, as Donnie mentioned below, which is our after party after every live stream. We go hang out over there. We drink the whiskeys that we were drinking. We talk about the stream. We tell the real tea. Just kidding. No, I'm honest with y'all. I always am. But yeah, it's just a really nice time to kind of chat with you guys about the stream and what you liked, what you didn't like, and just drink along with you. So Zoe said, I want the custard now. Man, yeah, I'm in a dessert mood all for sure. Tony's in for another entry. He says, hello, I'm on the bus tonight. Let's spin that wheel of whiskey. Well, we will. Thank you so much, Tony, for the super chat. You will be re-entered into the wheel of whiskey because I'm also counting the entries from last week. So thank you so much, Tony. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. All right, so that was the American single malt from Westward. To me, I do think it has a bit of that character that like a sour may not be the right word. It's like a yeasty note. Is that weird? It has like a bit of like a, yeah, that's, I've gotten that before. It's like a yeast tartness. Not my favorite note, but I think I'm really excited to see where it goes from here for the next couple. So the next one is also a Westward American single malt, but this one is a stout cask finish. So this was aged, actually, I don't know if it's finished or it doesn't say. It's just stout cask. So I'm not sure if these were aged entirely in stout barrels or if it was kind of finished that way. But this one is a little bit higher ABV, 46%, so 92 proof. So let's see what they say about this one here. It says, further aging. So it is finished in the stout cask. I should have read before I commented. So it says Westland partners with breweries from around Oregon and Washington, sending them brewers' barrels previously used for their whiskey, then repatriating him. I don't know what repatriating? I don't know that word. Never heard that word. I'm going to look that one up. Repatriating them after they've had sufficient time to mature the beer. After an additional year of aging in these casks, the whiskey shows notes. We're not going to read the notes because I don't like reading them. I like giving them myself. So let's go ahead and give the stout barrel one a nose. Ooh. When I thought the first one was creamy, I mean, the first one was custard. This one's like a creme brulee for sure. I'm just going back to the first one just real quick to compare. Yeah, the first one's like a very vanilla forward, sweet, like almost like vanilla pudding, like literal, like straight up vanilla pudding compared to the stout cask. The stout cask has a bit of like a, I don't know if I want to say char, but it has a bit of like a peanut brittle kind of note. I think that kind of complements that. This one smells way more my style. In terms of stout cask, I think the only ones I've had in the world of whiskey, I've had a Deanston Dragon's Milk Stout Cask whiskey, which was phenomenal. I've had the Jameson, a Jameson Cask Make Stout, which was also really good. So I seem to be a fan of stout casks. So I'm really excited to see what it does for this Westward. Let's give it a try. Cheers. First of all, this is the type of experience I like with an American single malt. You can tell it's not just the straight up barley. This is enhanced by that unique experimenting they did here. It has some of the frothing. It kind of feels like your mouth is frothing up a bit. It does have some of that. I said the body of the first one was thick and buttery. This takes it to the next level. It's rich. It's rich in flavor. It doesn't have the tartness that I got on the first one. It's a lot more full bodied. A lot darker. I'm leaning more towards like a chocolatey, maybe even like a coffee. Not quite espresso. Espresso is more bitter, but this one's leaning more towards like a creamy, like I don't know, like a diner coffee, like a drip coffee from like a diner, like Waffle House coffee, shall we say? Yeah, on the nose not so much, but on the palate, it's definitely darker. Like I said, dark chocolate, a little bit of like coffee, but really really nice. I'm enjoying this quite a bit more than the regular one. So over says creme brulee, custard, you're killing me. Next will be flan. Maybe, man. Maybe. We'll see. There's still one more from this distillery. But yeah, I like that a lot. It's still not quite my favorite. I mean, I'm comparing to last week, which I shouldn't be doing because these are 5 new whiskeys. So it's hard to pinpoint my favorite. I'll go back at the end and say which one of this whole kit is my favorite. But for me, it's missing a little oomph, and I'm hoping I'm getting that oomph a bit later because I think I love a whiskey that's. I wish this was a little more stout forward. You know, they say they had a whole additional year of aging there. I do get the character, and I think it does improve the whiskey significantly, but it still feels a little bit not my wheelhouse, which, you know, may just be the case. I'm a bourbon guy. I look for big, richer, oakier flavors. Not quite what I'm getting in this bottle, but I am getting a lot of depth and character that I wasn't getting in the standard. So definitely not a bad whiskey at all, but it's still not quite, I don't know. I'm searching for a bit more. Andrew says, luck be a lady tonight. Bring on the tasting kit. Well, your luck is on your side. What am I trying? There's no response to that, but good. Thank you so much for the super chat, Andrew. Yeah, you are entered into the wheel of whiskey. I can't wait to see who wins tonight. Deanston Dragon. Oh yeah, that Deanston's so good, man. I'm such a Deanston fan. I only have like 3 of their whiskeys. No, I have 4. I have 4 Deanstons at this point, and they have all just blown me away. Usually the higher proof Deanstons are where it's at. I have some amazing cask finishes from Deanston, which, by the way, Deanston is a Scotch distillery, so not quite American single malt, but in the same realm, you know. We're dealing with malt whiskey. Deanston's my jam, though. Brandon said, "Did you try the Rogue Stout finished whiskey that I had?" Rogue Stout finished whiskey. What was that one called? Or was it called Rogue? And it was. I don't know if I've tried yours, but I remember trying that at a bar. It's like it was a partnership with. It wasn't with Dragon's Milk, right? It was with a different. I think I know what you're talking about. Tell me more. I feel like I've had that one. Maybe not from you, but maybe at a bar. Friends with the coffee notes. Yeah, you know what's funny? I actually had coffee about 2 hours ago, so maybe that's why I'm thinking coffee. But it's definitely in that realm, for sure. Brandon says, put me on the wheel. Well, you are now on the wheel. Thank you so much for the super chat, Brandon. Best of luck to you, and thank you for joining the Discord. I can't wait to chat with you there more often. Let's see. Rogue is a brewery. Okay, I recognize that. I feel like I've had it, but I could be wrong. I'll have to see a picture of the bottle because I remember seeing the bottle at a bar, and I thought I've had it, but maybe not. Tony said, "Are you interested in trying the Bardstown Bourbon Company Bourbon County Stout collab?" Is that? Oh, it's like a. I was thinking like the other way around. It's like, oh, is it a beer? No, you're thinking like it's like a Asian stout. Like, yeah, I'd be interested in trying. Like I'm not opposed to. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of stout cask finished whiskeys. I also love stout beers, so that sounds right up my alley, Tony. I'm very intrigued. So maybe message me about that after. But thank you so much. All right, so we got one more whiskey from Westward. Like I said, I'm a big fan of the stout cask compared to the original. But this next one may be my favorite yet, based on the name. This next one, which is number 8 in the kit, this is Westward American Single Malt Pinot Noir cask. Now, fun story. Last weekend, I actually just took a trip up to Solvang, which is our not quite Napa wine country, but like second best to Napa in California. It's the Santa Ynez Valley. They have a ton of wineries there. And I always go, if y'all don't know, I'm not really a wine person. I come from bourbon. Like my entry into alcohol was like whiskey. Well, other than like cocktails, but just in general, like I come from a whiskey background. I never really drank wine growing up. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean. But yeah, I moved out here in California in 2018. I'm like, I got to become a wine person, at least somewhat. So every year, or maybe a couple times a year, I'll take a trip up there and try different wines, try to find my style of wine. And I've always dismissed Pinot Noir. I think to me, I had some bad ones at the beginning or ones that I didn't care for. So I always really kind of wrote it off as a category. However, this most recent trip last weekend, I tried more Pinot Noir casks that I've enjoyed than I've ever had before. I don't know if it's just the variety. I've heard that the ones that grow in California are a bit different than the ones that are the rest of the world. They're a lot more, they say briny. They say that they're like oceany. Maybe that's why I like them. Y'all know I love those like briny, like Talisker or Lagavulin. I don't know, but they said there's a lot more influence from that brine or like growing in California. At least that's what the wineries say. I don't know if it's true or not, but I really love a good California Pinot. Now, I'm not sure where the Pinot casks they're sourcing for this whiskey are from. I know that was a bit of a tangent, but I just want to say like I found a newfound love for Pinot casks. So I'm really excited to dive into this. Let's see what I missed. Rogue Dead Guy Ale. Oh, that's definitely, maybe I'm thinking of something completely different. Huh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's not the same one I've had. Fred says if you tried the Bardstown Stout cask, you should avoid doing any research to go into it blind. My mind immediately leans towards Tennessee whiskey when you say that, Fred, which is probably what you're saying. But I won't do any research. I won't. But like with that heads up, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But I could be wrong. Yeah. So let's try this Westward Pinot Noir cask. Well, let's see what they say. They say, while many employees at Westward have a brewing background, the company's founder, Christian Krogstad, has a background in wine. This release demonstrates that expertise by taking Westward's flagship American single malt and further aging it for a year in French oak casks previously used to mature Pinot Noir. The result highlights the herbaceous qualities of the whiskey while bringing out... We're not going into the notes. Let's go and give the Pinot Noir cask a nose. Ooh, okay. Similar to the stout cask. I think it's definitely leaning more towards like a bit of a charred. Yeah, it's leaning more towards the char than the original American single malt. I think that is probably that extra year of aging, honestly. I wouldn't have expected that to have such an impact on it, but you can get a lot more of the barrel influence on the nose. Now, of course, it is being put into a used barrel, which is the French oak barrels that age the wine. But there is a wine quality to it. Now, I've been drinking a lot of wine over the past week, so I know my wine. For a newbie, I know my wine. But there is some of that tart wine note. Different than the tart note I was getting on the yeast. It wasn't like a yeasty tart, but more of a berry, like a red berry tartness. I like the nose on this. And by the way, color, this one is a little bit darker. It's kind of hard to see. It's a little bit darker than the others. So there is some of that wine impact on it there. But let's give it a try. Cheers. That's nice. It's back in the bright territory of the first one. It's leaning more, like I said, the berry sweetness. There's a bit of like I think of more like a plump berry, not like the figs or like the dried fruit that I've sometimes gotten on this. It's more of like a bright raspberry. It's not tart like raspberry. It's like somewhere between like it's like a cherry, like a black cherry, but like a juiciness of a strawberry. It doesn't taste like strawberry, but I can feel like it has that, like, you know, like when you bite into like a juicy strawberry, like just that refreshing kind of like red berry note. There is that in this whiskey. I like it. I like that. I think this one is complemented very, very well by those wine casks. Honestly, I think this is on par with the stout cask. I think, honestly, kind of want to try these two blended together. So going a little bit rogue here as y'all have inspired me based on y'all's chat. I would really like to try a bit of the stout cask blended with that. I don't claim to be a blender, but I just feel like the stout brings such a like roasty, chocolatey note, and that cherry strawberry kind of thing going on there. I feel like this might be a good combo. So I'm gonna let that sit while I get caught up on the chat. Andrew says, I love going to Solvang. It's full of Danish butter cookies and Abelskivers. Yes, we didn't get Abelskivers this time. It was very crowded. They have their winter Christmas festival. I think it's called Jewel Fest every year, where they have a parade and they have a tree lighting ceremony. We tried to go. We went last year. We went this year as well. So we love that town. It's only like 2 hours, a little over 2 hours from us here. Completely transports you to like Europe. And like I feel like I'm in like Denmark or Sweden or whatever. And the landscape is like hilly. It's beautiful. I love that city so much. Fred said they get their cast from all sorts of places. Could be from a distillery you love. Oh, you mean the Bardstown? Could be, it could be. I'm not sure, because I know some of them label as Tennessee whiskey. Again, I'm just guessing based on your warning there, Fred. Not that I feel like it may or may not be, but anyways, Don Nishida says heading to a champagne tasting dinner, so wine may be in the cards tonight. Hey man, that sounds like great. Champagne tasting dinner. Never gone to a champagne tasting. I mean, I've had champagne with like dinner, but I've never gone to a tasting. Make sure to not fill up on the bubbles before the dinner. But that sounds really fun. Let us know how it goes, Don. If you're back around by the time we're hanging out, would love to know how that goes. Enjoy your dinner. You were entered. Again, like I said, if people entered last week or they're entering this week, just make sure I have your contact info. I'm not going to require you to be here for the Wheel of Whiskey, but just I mean, like Don, I got your info, but I'm saying like for those of you, if you are new and you are super chatting, make sure you're either tuning in at the end of the stream or you are, or I have your content info. Just reminder, every $5 super chat is an entry to win your own tasting kit. $200 value is going to be given away tonight to one lucky Wheel of Whiskey winner. So I'll leave that up down there. But yeah, I think this Pinot cask is. Oh wait, no, this is the blend. Let me try the blend. It's not giving much on the nose, like in either direction. It definitely tamed the fruitiness. It's not nearly as fruity as it was at the beginning. Huh. I don't know if that made it better or worse when blending them together. Let's try it. Yeah, it didn't work out as well as I thought. It's not like it amplified either of them. I think they're better on their own. So yeah, just hey, it's always fun to experiment, right? But yeah, I thought the stout and the Pinot cast might do something cool blended together, but they kind of negate the other benefits of each other. So definitely better on their own. But I am really excited to move into the next distillery. So that was really cool. I've never tried Westward. I think I lean in towards the stout or the Pinot cast. I think it needs a bit of that finishing, the experimentation. I think that's what makes it really shine. But let's get into some other really interesting whiskeys coming up next. I'm really excited for these. We saved them for last for a reason. So this is a new distillery to me. Was not aware of them. First time seeing them in this kit. They also shared this on their Instagram. So thank you to the folks at Boulder Spirits. But yeah, let's learn a little bit about Boulder Spirits out of Boulder, Colorado.
Each bottle of Boulder Spirits tells its story of the union between Scottish tradition and American ingenuity, rooted in Boulder, Colorado. Escaping from the brittle winters of Scotland in pursuit of my lifelong dream to create a whisky, I found myself in the ideal place to make a home and a single malt whisky, my way in Boulder, Colorado. I immediately commissioned a 1,000-gallon copper pot still from the famed Forsyths of Rothes, one of the oldest still makers in the world, and began my whisky journey with the largest pot still in the state of Colorado. The still was designed with a big pot, wide neck, and downward angled line arm to produce a fattier whisky with rich mouthfeel. It's the barley, yeast, water, oak, and the pursuit of happiness that makes up the foundation of our award-winning spirits. We use a specialised malted barley imported from the UK that has been grown and malted specifically for the use in distilling. You may hear the accent, and you may have gathered that we imported our still and our malted barley from Scotland. But rest assured, in Boulder, our single malt whisky is an American single malt whisky. We use 53-gallon number 3 char oak barrels that really gives those big American flavours. Those toffees, those caramels, those butterscotch notes. We proudly produce award-winning American single malts right here in beautiful Boulder, Colorado.
All right, so I am really excited about this distillery. They're doing some really fun stuff. I kind of did a little bit of digging on their website earlier, but we get to try 2 really cool expressions tonight. So the first one we're trying is actually a bottled in bond American single malt whiskey. So most of y'all know, especially from the bourbon world, bottle and bond is a distinction given to whiskey when it meets certain government regulations. So it's got to be at least 4 years old. It's got to be 100 proof. It has to be made in the same distilling season by the same distiller. Lots of rules. I mean, you can Google bottle and bond rules, but I tend to notice when a distillery does a bottled and bond product, I feel like that's an assurance of quality. Not saying that every bottle and bond product is of quality, but the fact that they're taking time to meet these strict regulations and ensure like this quality control says a lot. So I'm really, really excited for this American single malt bottled in bond. So like I said, 100 proof. It also says it's aged at altitude, because again, Boulder, in cask toasted to number 3 char, which he mentioned on the video. Yep, just tells you a little about that, and then gets into tasting notes. We're not going to read the tasting notes. Again, I'm getting this info from the wonderful Bevridge website that has all the info about all these whiskeys that we're drinking. So Fred says, I haven't mentioned Boulder Spirits. The founder, Alistair, is awesome. And the whiskey is delicious. Well, I'm really excited to give it a try. It's all good, man. Yeah, that we heard from himself. Independent Joe is in the chat. What's up, Joe? Y'all make sure to check out Joe's channel. He has really fun videos that come out. I think you always put your videos out late at night. I always see your posts on Facebook like new late night drop. But he's also on tons of other channels, like just guest starring. Maybe guest starring here soon on my channel. We'll see. I owe him some samples I'm going to get in the mail tomorrow, Joe. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, y'all check out Joe. And thank you so much for dropping my links. That's a link to my podcast, which I put on hiatus a bit for now. But you can check out replays of the first 50 episodes. Lots of really good whiskeys there. Speaking of that, while we're doing self promo, why not? Next week, y'all remember, next week is my top 10 whiskeys of 2022. This is my top list. I put it out every year. This year's list is still being finalized. I'm actually calling on my top patron, who is my bourbon terabyte level, which is my $50 level. Todd Cooper, y'all know him, love him. But yeah, at the top, at that tier, technically there's another tier called the Bourbon Daddy, but that's saved for a special someone that hasn't claimed that yet. But yeah, at the bourbon terabyte level, it is the $50 level, but you get a tasting kit every single month. So this month he's actually, since it is the end of the year, he's actually helping me pick my top 10 whiskeys of the year. So I've sent him 10 different blind samples. I'm really excited to see what he helps me pick as the list. They're going to be blind for me as well. I'm going to do them blind as we taste through them this weekend. But yeah, we're going to put out my top 10 whiskeys next weekend, or next Thursday. So make sure, I got a banner for this somewhere. Here we go. Hold on. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button to be notified when I go live. Thanks. Smiley face. Yeah, but yeah, that's gonna be a really fun stream next weekend. Why do I keep saying next weekend? Next Thursday. All right, so let's get into this Boulder selfish plug. It is selfish. But I applaud you too, Joe. Y'all check out Joe and then come back next week. How about that? All right. There's a cool. Oh no, that's your selfish plug. I see what you did there, Joe. You're allowed to. This Saturday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, the Savant, Dan Shook, takes on Independent Joe in a some holds barreled competition. Oh, some? I don't know what that means, but okay. Hit the link. It's a reminder to get front row seats. Love that, Joe. Y'all go check out that stream this Saturday on I think it's on Joe's channel. I'm excited to see you go against Dan. That's going to be really interesting. So that's going to be fun. Y'all go check out that. Yes, I got it now. I read this comment before I read this comment. And thank you, Donnie, for dropping the link to let people know to come back. So, yes, Boulder Spirits. They're bottled and bond American single malt. Let's give it a nose. Whoa, so different than what we've been drinking before. You know, this honestly, it kind of goes towards it's like a sweet and sour, like a sweet tart. Not a sweet tart, but like those Smarties. You know those candies? It's like Smarties brand, I think it's called, but it's like a chewy. It's not like the Smarties like little powdery discs. It's like the chewy, like gummy. Maybe they're sweet tarts. I get them confused. I think they're the sweet tarts, the chewy ones. Kind of smells a little bit like that. Very fruity. Like I'm thinking like green apple on the nose. Yeah, you can tell the proof. You can tell it's higher proof. It's sour, but not in like a I don't know. It doesn't seem like a yeasty sour, but let's go and give it a taste and see how it is. Cheers. I'm still getting that sweet tart note. It's like a candy sweetness, but it's good. I mean, this one's such a different whiskey. I mean, we're talking, even though it is still an American single malt, we're talking like a completely different flavor profile. This one's bright. It's tropical. I'm getting like, in addition to the green apple, I'm still getting that. I'm getting pineapple. It has that tartness from the pineapple. What an interesting whiskey. I wonder why they mentioned that still, right? They imported that still from Scotland, and it's like the largest one in the state of Colorado, I think you said in the video. It's imparting such a like bright fruitiness that I've gotten on some Irish whiskeys. I've gotten on some scotches, don't get me wrong, but like the only ones I can think of that come to mind that it reminds me of in like the realm of scotch is kind of like a blend, like some of the Compass Box releases kind of have some of that pineapple tartness to it. What an interesting taste. Yeah, I mean, this one's like, I want to keep going back to it. On the nose and on the palate, it's so different. It's not like traditionally like spicy, or I'm looking for other notes other than like the sweet fruitiness. It's not spicy. It's not minty. It does have a bit of like a freshness, like a I don't want to say green grass, but it's like got a bit of like a earthy kind of like brightness to it. Maybe like it's like the opposite of like a ripe, like I don't know, a pineapple, but a ripe apple versus like a unripe apple. It's definitely more of like the unripe. It has some of the like the tartness, the earthiness of like a unripened fruit. That's such a weird note, but like I'm getting some of that like bright little bit of acidity element. I'm looking at their tasting notes now because I was curious. So they do say like baker's chocolate and toffee, but then they say tropical fruits like banana, spiced apple, and subtle hint of anise. I did get the apple. 100% got the apple. To me, it was more pineapple than banana. I'm such a stickler. Like when I get a banana note, I'm always like either turned off or turned on. If it's a cooked banana, like a banana nut bread, oh hell yeah. But if it's like a fake Runts banana, we're talking candy, right? This isn't like a Runts sweetness. It's like it's definitely more sweet tart than Runts. Put that in your tasting notes. More sweet tart than Runts. Pineapple on Aaron, which is Swan's favorite. Oh yeah, I haven't had it in a minute, but he has sent me quite a few samples of that. I like this. I think it's a really interesting spirit. Definitely a twist from what we were just trying with the Westward. They sent me Westland and Westward. I always get this confused, but this last one we had was Westward. Yeah, I'm gonna leave a little bit in my glass because there's one more whiskey to try tonight. By the way, just letting y'all know, I'm gonna cut off the giveaway in about 6 minutes. So if you want to get in for your chance to win this tasting set, last call in the next 6 minutes. We'll cut it off at $7.50 just so it's fair. We'll do the Wheel of Whiskey spin then. Again, every $5 super chat is one chance to win this awesome tasting kit, which comes with 10 samples, 50 milliliters each sample. So they come in these cute little bottles like this. Let's see that focus. Yeah. So it tells you like the proof and all the info on it here. You get 10 of those in this kit. It's like compared to the World Whiskey one we did 2 weeks ago, this one has 10 samples. So that's like 500 milliliters. That's almost a whole bottle's worth of whiskey there. Of course, it is pricey, but it's definitely like a premium tasting set. It comes, like I said, it comes with this cool box. It's a great gift for the holiday season. Which, by the way, since we're on our second stream, I can do this now that I can destroy the box a little. It comes. Let me show you. Hold on. Big reveal. So not only does it have a cool slip cover, but the slip cover comes off, and you get this really cool breakdown of American single malt whiskey. So tells you a little bit about the category here, and it's just really cool. Like that's like cool wall art. I said last stream, but I have a chart above my desk here that has like a bunch of different types of whiskey and their mash bills and their age and the type of cask they use. It's actually really cool. I actually got that as a gift on Reddit. There's like a gift exchange where you sign up for a Secret Santa and you get paired with someone somewhere across the country. And I got paired with someone about 2 years ago, and I told them that I was really passionate about whiskey and I had a YouTube channel. That was around the time when I first started the channel, and they gave me that. And I wish I could reference it more often because it's up here, but it's really tiny from my desk view. But yeah, I'm actually thinking about putting these up beside it because they're really cool. They would match that aesthetic of the whiskey flavor wheel, or it's a wheel of whiskey, but not the wheel of whiskey that we're spinning in a bit. So, yeah. So anyway, sidetracked, but I think it's kind of cool. It's like I said, it's a really nice tasting set. So someone's gonna win one in about 4 minutes. So let's go to the last whiskey of the night, which is also from Boulder Spirits. This one is really exciting. It's glad we saved it for last. This is a peated American single malt. So this one comes in at 46% ABV. So let's read what they say. They say, so far as we know, this is the first peated single malt aged exclusively in new American oak casks. While it's definitely peated, it's delicate, integrated peat that adds complexity rather than dominates the profile of the whiskey. Thanks in part to these new casks and maturation in altitude that allows it more interaction between the spirit and the wood. So a peated single malt aged exclusively in new American oak barrels. I was going to say charred, but it doesn't say charred. I'm really intrigued. Color me intrigued. Y'all know I love a good peated whiskey, but throwback to the fold out maps I used to include with games. Oh man. Yeah, I used to, every time I got a Grand Theft Auto game, I would always take the map out and like put it as a poster on my wall as a kid. Actually, it wasn't the poster. So if you look at my old YouTube videos at the beginning of my channel, I had some posters in the background. I had 2 GTA 5 posters behind me. I think there was 2. But yeah, that came with when I pre-ordered Grand Theft Auto 5. That was my backdrop. My when I had a second bedroom, which was my whiskey room. I wasn't into whiskey back then, but it was my recording room. I used to have some gaming posters behind me. Now that I'm in California, I only have a 1 bedroom because California. But yeah, I used to have a bunch of gaming posters all around. Not just my apartment, but my college dorm, my childhood bedroom. I always loved them. I love exclusive art. So Kelsey's in the chat. What's up, Kelsey? Good to see you. Y'all check out their channel. They just launched recently. Hello Again, Whiskey Friends, I believe it's called. Really cool channel with him and it's a whole group of people. Y'all go check them out. I'm forgetting names right now, but Cliffy's coming out. We've been drinking a lot of whiskey tonight. I wish I wasn't allergic to peat. Come on. It's grown on me. But I think peat, I like certain peats. I don't like medicinal peat. I like ocean, briny peat. I like the meaty barbecue peat. I have to be in the mood for a certain type of peat. So I'm not opposed to this. I'm really excited to see where this goes. Jeffrey Wack is the name of the person. No one said it in the chat, but it's Jeffrey Wack. I remember before someone said. All right, peated American single malt. Okay, very light on the nose in terms of peat. It's kind of reminding me of what is the Irish whiskey that does a peated Irish whiskey? Not Teeling. I'm not talking about Black Pits, but there's an Irish whiskey. Is it it's not Connemara. I literally have a bottle over there. I was like, I'm gonna go grab it, but no, I will not leave. But it's a peated Irish whiskey. There's only one other than the Teeling, but this is really nice on the nose. It's still char forward. And Darrell Stewart, thank you, Kelsey. I'm so bad with names. That's why I hesitate to even mention them, but I'm so bad with them. Yeah, Darrell's awesome. I've seen him on several channels. They're awesome. Check out their channel. All right. It's a very light, subtle peat. I'm really excited to see where this goes as an American single malt. Cheers. Connemara, I was right. Okay. Thank you, Donnie and Fred. I knew I was onto it, but I didn't want to commit to that. Yes, Brandon, you as well. Thank y'all for the confirmation there. Wow. Ooh. One of the most approachable peated whiskeys I've ever had. I think it comes across as smoky versus peated. So if you do like a good smoky whiskey, not peat smoke, but like a campfire smoke, ooh, that's really good. Oh my gosh, Boulder, what are you doing here? You're turning me into a peated single malt lover, which is apparently like a category. Super complex. I mean, that smokiness is on the back end for sure. Up front, it's very similar to the first one. Really bright. I'm not getting like the pineapple. Oh, you meant literally allergic. Oh my gosh. I thought you were just being extra. Like some people are like, oh, peat, I can't do peat. Didn't realize that. Okay. Yeah, then I don't recommend this to you. But to everyone else, that's not. This is really nice. I'm a big fan of it. I think it's such a complimentary note. It's like adding we talked about the tart apples, like a bit of the green apple and the bottled and bond version. This is like you take those apples and you throw them on a grill. Never have I ever had grilled apples, but it kind of gives you some of that char note combined with that tartness from the apple. Yeah, it's very full bodied. I do kind of wish this one was the 100 proof that the bottled and bond was. I'm just a sucker for those higher proof whiskeys. I do feel like it feels a bit compared to the bottled and bond. It does feel a bit lighter. It does feel full bodied, and I feel like that has that. All 5 of these tonight have had that rich characteristic that I missed on some of the ones last week. So they all have that really nice rich body character, but I feel like the flavors of this could really be amped up at higher proof. I'm really curious. I mean, Fred, you're the resident Boulder expert here. Do they do any higher proof ones, or even more bottle and bond, or even cast strength? Really, really curious. Yeah, not off putting. If you are not a fan of peat, you still might like this whiskey, unless you're allergic. But just in general, yeah. Wow, that's really good. Okay, now's the time where I pick my favorite of the night and favorite of this whole kit. So let's hold on. Should I say that for? I'll announce favorite of the night first, and then we'll do the Wheel of Whiskey, and then I'll announce my favorite of the kit. Because why not, right? There's not that y'all actually care, but I'm having fun with it. So I do want to say before we do the Wheel of Whiskey, if you don't happen to win tonight, don't worry. I have an exclusive promo code for you, which I put down below. Only for the first 50 people. But if you use the code Bourbon Bites, all one word, all caps on beverage.co, you can get either this or the World Whiskey Tasting Kit for 10% off, which is, $20 off for this kit and $10 off for the other one. Again, if you're getting it as a gift for someone, it's a great way to cover the cost of shipping or whatever you want to justify getting that off. I just wanted to make sure I had an exclusive code. I asked them specifically for that, for this series of streams. So if you happen to purchase from them, please use the code. It does show that there was reason for me to ask for that. So, I feel like that 100 proof is coming back to me. But I think, my favorite tonight, I'll go ahead and say it. The 100 proof Boulder, the Boulder Bottled and Bond, I think is a really fantastic American single malt. It's my favorite tonight. Now, is it my favorite of this whole kit? Let's find out. But first, we got to pick a winner of the Wheel of Whiskey, one of my favorite parts of the night. I mean, just being here is my favorite part of the night. But Fred says, well, first of all, before we get into that, he says, the Pita is my favorite so far of their lineup. Didn't want to say anything until you tried it. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Cast strength barrel picks. Oh, maybe we can get a Bourbon Bites pick going on. I don't know, Fred, you're in Colorado a lot. Maybe we can figure it out. All right, but yeah, someone's about to win this tasting kit. Again, I got another one thanks to the folks at Bevridge. So let me just double check to make sure all entries are in. I think they are. Yeah, they are. So are y'all ready to I'll share my screen real quick. Let me shuffle this a couple times. Are y'all ready for the Wheel of Whiskey? I'm sure you are. Let me get my screen shared. 1 second. All right, so we've shuffled the entries quite enough. So we are going to. Oh, you can't see it yet. Funny. All right, so this is everyone who has entered both last week and this week. One person is going to be the lucky winner of this kit. I'm so excited to give it away, and I'm excited for someone to win. So stick around after this. Don't leave, because I'm going to tell you my favorite whiskey of this whole kit, my favorite American single malt I've tried to date. So let's go ahead and spin the Wheel of Whiskey. Oh, that's so close. Tony Bag of Donuts. Tony, congratulations. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. Thank you so much for your super chats. Thank everyone so much for your super chats. Tony just won the American Single Malt Tasting Kit by Bevridge. So Tony, make sure I have your info. I know I have it at some point, but make sure I have the up-to-date info, because I don't want this to get lost in the mail. Congratulations again. Thank you so much for everyone who entered. Don't worry. Like I said, you can use let me put that back up just in case anyone's feeling oh man, I really wanted it. I got y'all 10% off down here. But yeah, so here is all 10 of the whiskeys we tried over the past 2 weeks. Let's see. So this was last week's stream. We tried all of these. This week's stream, we tried these 5. So I'm going to tell you all my favorite American single malt that I've tried in this kit. Of course, as a preview for next week's stream, which is my top 10 whiskeys of 2022. Make sure y'all come back for that stream. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm excited to announce it. I'm a little nervous to announce it. Don't hate me. It's my top 10, not yours. It might be yours. We'll find out. But yeah, let's pick my favorite American single malt from this Beverage tasting kit. So we tried whiskeys from Westland. We've tried it from Virginia Distillery Company, Colkegan out of Santa Fe Spirits. We've tried Balcones, Westward, and Boulder Spirits. Well, my favorite American single malt. I like this whole book thing. Oh, can you see me? No. My favorite out of this entire tasting kit. Ooh, this is tough. I liked a lot of these. I don't know. Any guesses what y'all think my favorite is? I'm thinking back. It's hard to remember from last week. I think I got it. My favorite, surprisingly, was the first one I tried in this kit. So my favorite was the Westward. This one that I tried for the first time last week. 100% malted barley. I really like this one. Y'all saw how impressed I was. It was my second. So I tried this whiskey a long time ago, but revisiting it last week just blew my mind. But yeah, all of these are really, really good in their own way. I think tonight, like I said, the Boulder blew my mind, but of the Westward, it was definitely the Pinot or the Stout cask. But most of all, this was so much fun. So like I said, if you want to get your own tasting kit, all the info is down in the description below. Save your promo code. Fred's like, what? Did I say Westward? Sorry, I meant Westland. I apologize. Let me show it again. I was saying one thing and reading another one. Westland was my favorite. But I do say the two from Boulder were just as interesting. So I liked them all. This was so much fun. So again, thank you to the folks at Bevridge for sponsoring these streams. I'm really excited for. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the replays. If you don't catch it live, leave a comment down below what your favorite American single malt is. I'm really curious. I'm fascinated by this category, and I'm excited to dive deeper into it and see what other ones are out there. So until next time, this has been Bourbon Bites. Make sure y'all check out the Discord. Like I said, bourbonbites.com. Check it out. We're about to do our hangout for patrons over there. But yeah, I'll see y'all next week for my top whiskeys of 2022. Oof, my favorite stream of the year. I hope y'all are as excited as I am. Hit your subscribe button, hit the bell button, turn on all notifications because it's going to be a really good time. So until next time, cheers, and I'll see you next week. Or one more stream. I'll see you one last time this year. That's not as dramatic as I want it to be. Nah. Cue the outro. Bring in the dancing lobsters.
This exciting new category encapsulates the American spirit, pushing boundaries and defying expectations. Bevridge is here to help you explore the ways American single malt is making a name for itself, and to introduce you to the brands and individuals behind this charge. In this session, you'll go behind the scenes with Westland, Virginia Distillery Company, Santa Fe Spirits, Balcones, Westward, and Boulder Spirits. So get ready, it's time to set off on an adventure of taste and discovery.